So we talk a lot at PBS about how awesome our diversity is. So if you think about all the various different families that we have at the school, all of the students, we see lots of diversity for race, for culture, the languages you speak at home, your backgrounds, your family structures, your political beliefs, all of this really great diversity. And yet we're in a community that has the same core values: courage, kindness, community, and love of learning. So over the next 4 gathers, we're going to hear from a variety of people about how we can live out our core values amidst all of this great diversity. So I have a number for you to make sure we know who the first speaker is. 6,769. So think about this. We have a speaker today, and I have a number, 6,769. That is how many days Coach Drake has taught at PBS. Let's give him a warm welcome.
I'm glad your calculator is working. A lot of old people in here today. I'm looking at some. It's the 100th day of school, so I get it. Hello, as you know, my name is Stan Drake. Many of you know me as Coach Drake. I want to give you a little background about myself. I was born in San Francisco, moved to Menlo Park in 1956. I've lived in Menlo Park over 60 years and taught at Phillips Brooks 40 years. As Dr. Erickson was saying, Phillips Brooks has a lot of diversity: race, culture, ethnic, family structure, political beliefs, gender, and more. And hope you guys realize that this is a special place, and it's really a special place for me. About 3 weeks ago, we were lucky enough to have a day off on a Monday. It was January 15th. Does anyone know what date that was? Oh, I saw Neil. Stand up, Neil. What day was that? Correct, he got it right. Can anybody kind of talk a little bit about what Martin Luther King did? Oh, Stephen, help me out, Stephen. Stand up, Stephen.
So Martin Luther King, he was a civil rights activist, and he helped with civil rights for African Americans. And when he was 39, he was shot, and well, he passed away. And that was really tragic to all because he was such a great man to help with everyone.
I couldn't have put it any better than that. That was excellent, Stephen. Thank you. So what Stephen mentioned, I have a story that is related to Dr. King. So a little bit more background. I grew up in East Menlo Park, near Facebook, and my neighborhood was predominantly Afro-American. As a kid, as you know now, I love sports, so I love to play sports. But my favorite thing to do was riding my bike. It was like a freedom thing for me. I'd get on my bike and I would ride and I'd ride and I'd ride. And through my neighborhood, Willow Road is the main thoroughfare. So at the time I was like 9 or 10, there was a lot of gas stations around. So I was kind of a naughty little boy. I would go and to the gas station. Then I would have money, but I would go and get sodas. And there's a couple of machines at these gas stations. If you put money in the candy machine, you could get like 3 or 4 different candies. And so I used to check all the machines in the area. And sometimes money would come out. So don't do that. I'm not telling you something. Don't do that. No, don't do that. But that was one of my pastimes. And I thought it was fun. Well, in the summer of 1964, my mother, who was from Georgia, took my brother and I on a train trip. to Georgia, and we traveled through a bunch of states. I remember going through the Salt Flats in Utah. That was so much fun, seeing all these different areas. So we were in Georgia. When we got to Georgia, it was so much fun. I was at my grandmother's house, and I had like 10 cousins. So we just ate and played around and did all this fun stuff. So, but one day, my cousin, and I remember, we called him Boo. Boo said, I said, Boo had a brand new bike. So I said, Boo, can I borrow your bike? And he was, oh yeah, you know, go ahead. And I said, oh man, it was like I was at home. I got on the bike and I started riding. I said, but a little background about Georgia. A couple of things about Georgia. What Stephen was mentioning about the civil rights, that's where Martin Luther King grew up. And at that time, for blacks, it was difficult. They couldn't do certain things that white citizens could do. So, so I kind of didn't know that. I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. I didn't know it was that bad. So I'm gonna take you on my ride on the bike. So Coach is riding the bike. He's riding. Oh, one thing, quick Coach up. You gotta have a picture of Coach. There's That's about how I looked at that time. Yeah, you believe it. So he's riding. But what I realized as I'm riding, the climate is different than it is in California. It's hot and it's humid. So it's like, you know, you're sweating and everything. So I'm still riding, but all of a sudden, guess what I saw? Who can guess what I saw? Yeah. Andy.
A pool.
No. Graham.
A water fountain.
And a gas station. And a gas
I know
station.
this story.
Yeah, you know the story, but listen. I was so excited to see that water fountain. I'm just riding up to the water fountain, so I stopped, get off my bike. Corey, stand up, Corey. Corey, you're gonna be my person. So Corey's at the water fountain. I'm coming to the water fountain. Get to the water fountain. I'm so glad to drink some water. When I get to the water fountain, tell me, Corey, I can't have any water. Corey told me I couldn't drink out of the water fountain. So I said, oh, why can't I drink out of this water fountain? And the man, he had a southern accent. He said, boy, you can't drink out of this water fountain because black people can't drink out of this water fountain. I went, oh my gosh. And being from California and my freedom, I rode my bike all over the place. And when I got to Georgia, I didn't have that freedom. And so I was, you know, I was still 9 years old. I was kind of upset. And I was still going to drink. So who knows what a fire poker is when you have Graham again. Wow, Graham, what is it?
Well, it's like a sort of like a tube thingy.
It's a tool that you put fires out with. So somehow he had one. So he kind of shooed me away with it. He said, get out of here. So I wasn't crying or anything, but I was really upset. So I went back to my grandmother's house and told my mother, ooh, how do you think she felt? Oh, she was very upset. I mean, that's to say the least. And so she took me and my aunt, we went back to the gas station, and my mother wanted to get physical, and my aunt kind of calmed her down, and my mother told the gas station attendant that that's why she left Georgia, because she was either going to get in trouble or somebody was going to do something to her, because she didn't believe, she encountered racism all her life, so she came to California because she wanted better for her children. So, so she ended up not doing anything crazy, but she kind of wasn't mad at me because she thought it was important for me to stand up for my rights because I wasn't used to that, and that's what she told the attendant, that you can understand that he's not from here. So, so everything worked out. But what I want, and you know what I want? I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me, like, oh, Coach Drake, that happened to you, because you know what? It made a better person out of me to have a little adversity like that. And also to see that this country has come so far. From 1964, I was 9 years old, it's come so far till now. We're still having a few problems now. You know, as you can see, like Colin Kaepernick and a lot of other athletes are standing up for their civil rights. So it's still, some of that is still happening today. So, what I can say is have a freedom-filled and civil rights Friday.